All right, so let's go over today's trade. It was a loss, but it had merit. You know, this is one of those ones that followed my rules perfectly, and yes, you just can't win them all. I read direction, draw, lots of things right. So let's just go over it quickly here. So here we have 5-minute chart on bar replay mode on ES. As you can see, in overnight we came up quite aggressively, and this is prior day's high. We took out prior day's high, we saw a rejection. Overall, I was very neutral coming into today, and my trade idea coming into the market was I wanted to see, I thought we were going to range and kind of play inside the range. We did just take a draw liquidity, so while I was neutral, I was still leaning slightly more bearish. So what I was looking for on market open was for price to come up into this zone, take this liquidity, and then dump down into all these areas of liquidity I've got shaded down here. So market opened. This is market open. So on market open, we actually got the draw. My bearish draw got hit. So at this point I said, let's see what price wants to do from here. I was open to, because right now we'd actually also taken out a 4-hour fair value gap. So continuing to move upwards was very, very, very possible. And so I'll show you where I entered. It was this candle. Yes, this is the 15-minute candle close. Why did I enter in this 15-minute candle close? As I said, we came down, we took this draw, which I was looking for. And where did the 15-minute close? Not only did we inverse this 15-minute fair value gap here, we also, not that this has all that much significance, it's a tier C confluence that it just gives me just a little bit of extra courage entering the trade. We had this old 15-minute fair value gap here. So to close with this much strength after coming down and taking a lot of liquidity, and to close this much strength, I said, you know what, I think we're just making a lower low here, and we've got plenty of draws above. As you can see, this is a 15-minute fair value gap. There's lots of draws. So I entered the trade as I typically do. My entry was on this candle close. So where I could have done a little better here is I entered here. Why this wasn't ideal is I entered on ES because ES was the more bullish asset. But if we actually look at NQ, NQ came up into this area and actually didn't close through its 15 minutes or these 5-minute fair value gaps. So NQ is showing a little bit of weakness, but that's fine because it is the lagging asset. So that's the only thing where I could say, you know what, maybe I should have waited out a little, or just even waited for waited for a 5-minute candle that showed conviction through these two 5-minute fair value gaps. So when I enter a trade like this, my stop is under this candle here. This is like a 15-minute candle that formed. It's a 5-minute candle here, but it's to the extreme of the two fair value gaps that got created here and this fair value gap. So I want to give myself breathing room, and I wasn't even shooting for the stars here. We had these relative equal highs here, so I was just going for a 1.5R. And you can see here the next candle came down, took my liquidity, and as you can see, so my direction and everything was spot on. I just got tagged out of the trade. Whereas if I had, in hindsight, all I had to do at this point to go, you know what, this is not showing me all the conviction. Like, ideally, this candle body close, you'd want to see it through these two 5-minute fair value gaps. We didn't get that. If I had simply waited, here this wouldn't have been enough for me to go short. It might have been, I don't know. Especially seeing how aggressive NQ was, I may have taken that short, but realistically, this was the trade. To enter off this candle, stop, At this point, you've got to put your stop here, aim for these highs. Yeah, that would have been the trade today. Again, you can't win them all. I'm happy how I took it. You know, no trade's perfect. You can't, you don't win them all. And as I said, like, this is enough for me. Like, when I saw that 15-minute close through here, that was enough. There you go, you know. Like, my draw was perfect, you know. You just get wicked out of a trade every once in a while and it runs without you, you know. So, you can't win them all.